Hello again and welcome to another episode of the Franchise Everything podcast, where we talk about everything and anything franchising. And today I'm joined by Joe Rossi, who's the Managing Director of Town & Country Pizza and Pasta. It's a long brand name, Joe. How you doing?
That is a mouthful. I'm well. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So thanks for joining us. Today we're at the Franchise Forum for the Franchise Council with the FIA Awards dinner tonight. You're going to the awards tonight?
We are, yes. We've been fortunate that we are finalists in 2 categories. Very proud to represent our brand for franchise innovation as a finalist, and also our franchisee Hemi from our store in Lara, Victoria, is a single unit franchisee. So wishing him all the best as well. We'll find out tonight.
Excellent. And it's interesting. It's timely and opportunistic that you talk about franchise innovation.
Yes.
Because we're going to be talking in this podcast about AI. Everyone's talking about AI in hospitality. So I know you've got a lot of opinions on it, on the use of technology in business. To start with, let's kick off with what Town & Country is first, about locations and that sort of number, before we jump into that.
Yeah, sure. We're a Victorian-based franchise. We've got 14 locations at the moment between Victoria and Western Australia. Yep. We've just opened our second store in Western Australia with more to come.
That's the spread, Victoria to Western Australia?
It wasn't originally planned that way, but we're very grateful now that we've gone and done the hard work for Western Australia, and we're now looking to the East Coast. We just spent time recently at the Sydney Expo as well, and now rolling out a national strategy for growth there. We're a 36-year-old brand from my father that was the founder 36 years ago for the original store, but we've been in franchising now since about 2012. Yep. We have a very specific growth strategy that we often speak about as to how we recruit, and we're looking forward to what's ahead. Yeah, we have very traditional values and principles to what we do, but we like to think of ourselves as a very innovative and tech-forward business in the background of that as well.
So with that in mind, what is your view of the usage of technology within hospitality business like yours?
Yeah, so with all of the talk about AI, it's good to sort of step back a little and see the evolution of the technology as it's come into our industry. You've got things like the digital platforms and digital ordering, and we're fortunate that prior to COVID, we invested a lot in that, and what was happening there, COVID accelerated for us. And by seeing that, it gave us more enthusiasm to, double down on technology and how it supports our business. But we really wanted to ensure we keep our values and the fundamental aspects of hospitality, because we find that's the core to what we offer. Simple things like great service and great food are often lost when it comes to technology within the industry as well.
Without those, you can have all the tech you want. It's not going to matter.
They're simple values, but sometimes get lost in the technological attributes.
So you mentioned, was it during COVID you said you doubled down on technology?
We did. What COVID did was show us the ability or the application of that technology, and it accelerated that. Yep. So it forced people to be adopting that technology a little quicker. And now that doesn't seem to have slowed. And with AI, the introduction of AI, it's now accelerated that even more. And it's given us the ability to implement more technology through our business, but only with an emphasis on empowering our teams and our franchisees to be able to deliver great service and great food.
As how many sites? 14 sites, did you say?
14 sites.
As a smallish brand, people would love to have 14 sites, mind you.
Yes.
But at that size, are you finding that AI is giving you firepower and ability? You're over-indexing compared to what you might have been with a QSR brand with 100 locations?
Yeah.
Is it giving you more leverage?
We're fortunate as a brand. Although we're 14 stores, we have very high volume locations. We put a big emphasis on high volume. We're not simply just chasing store count. We want high volume per location. And to obtain that, you need tools to withstand the volume. And you also need analysis to take place in a certain manner, so you can make decisions that continue to grow the business. And so we use technology for that, and that's where we implement a lot of it. So yes, it's empowered our teams. That's empowered our decision making on all levels, right down to the consumer and the customer experience. Yeah.
So can you give me some practical examples of how you're adapting and using technology? Because you've just opened a store. Yes. Did you do anything different to it that you're doing in your, say store one, for example?
Yeah, site selection is a lot easier when you've got some data that you can input into AI and give its interpretation on as a first point of contact. the ability, well, I guess the biggest opportunity we see is within training our franchisees. We've put a lot of emphasis on that and have been building specific products in relation to that. So I should mention we've established a subsidiary company that's really just focused on developing products and innovative items within our business now before we hit any more scale, so that we can scale them up with the business, but also empower our franchisees now that'll eventually become multi-unit franchisees.
So you're talking products as in food products and items?
We're using training products. We're using forecasting products for ordering and so on. We're also using analysis tools to obviously interpret the data, get that back, and even just customer data that we're able to obtain and understand our customer a little more. I mean, it's no surprise to anyone in QSR that personalization was a big trend, and that's stuck. And AI is just giving us the ability to cater to that better. So the ordering process for us will become smoother and with less friction, and that means the customer experience will be enhanced dramatically.
So what does the adoption of AI in a hospitality business look like in back of house? So what's happening back there to make a kitchen more efficient, for example?
Yeah, there's efficiencies. You can feed in the time frames between different processes of making a meal and what that looks like. But as I said, the biggest opportunity for us at the moment is within training. And so anything that's repetitive and comes with the cost of having to look over someone's shoulder and train, we're replacing that with technology now. And that's giving our managers and store managers and franchisees the opportunity to continue to focus on running the business as opposed to being stuck training a particular employee. That's just one example.
So what does it look like? Is that like an online training app or video?
It's a hardware product that we're about to release more openly, but it's a hardware product team powered by AI that will allow that process to be frictionless, delivered almost without any human intervention. So the training modules will be delivered in such a manner that team members that have just been recruited that have no experience whatsoever will become trained and readily usable for a store pretty quickly. And the cost of doing that, or the cost of training an employee, is a big one. It's a real one in our industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
it'll then bring down labour costs and so on as a result.
It brings down launch costs for a new location.
That's right.
Were you trialling that sort of stuff in your latest opening?
We have. We've been
Perth?
testing that through our latest launches, and the ability to apply it has meant that our ops team, while still physically there, have been able to do more from a distance as well. So it gives our team to be more supportive, the opportunity to be more supportive as a result. That's just one example. Then the rest is just really breaking down timeframes and the data of those timeframes. And if there's an opportunity to be quicker and deliver and get that food quicker, then absolutely we'll put it out a lot faster as well.
So I remember we had chat probably a couple of years ago now, talking about the business when we first met at Melbourne Expo, I think it was. And something stood out to me then about your take on food delivery, food delivery apps and so on. Has it changed that you don't use them, or what's your vision on it now?
No, we haven't changed our thoughts on it just yet. We're I guess not as passionate towards the conversation in that we were adamant.
So is it a never say never?
Exactly. It's a never say never because there's going to be potential markets that we enter that we can't implement our technology and give the customer what they need.
Yes.
But at the moment, we haven't had that need. Every market we've entered, we've just constantly reassessed and compared. And it's great for us that the third-party aggregators exist because they're blazing the way and educating the customer and doing what we can't do without that big marketing budget and the losses they're prepared to take. But we're finding that the more we invest in our technology and that innovation, we're delivering the same, if not better, experience. We know in certain markets we're definitely outperforming them. And so whilst we're doing that, why would we change that? As well as all of the customer data that comes with that is so much more valuable as well. So yes, we still have the same attitude. If anything, we've probably put more emphasis on that now. Yeah. And that's why we're willing to put a big part of our budget towards those things. Yeah.
So as you look into the future, because I know you've got more store openings coming up,
we do, yes. Yeah, we are inevitably growing. We're just being very particular about our growth. As I said, we're really focusing on each franchisee, the innovation component to what we do, how they work together and empowering them to really execute well at a store opening, and then ongoing and consistency. So the things where AI and innovation really come into play is really with consistency. And so we just want the technology to feed those values that are, the very, very timeless values of hospitality.
That will always be a key part of your business.
Delivering service with a smile, whether it's at your front door or in store at the register and so on. We won't lose any of that. So we're just trying to empower our stores with that, and we don't want to unlock that growth rapidly and miss that opportunity to execute that really well. So we're really focusing on doing that in a particular manner at the moment.
Excellent. I think it's a timely, because we're here today. There's a lot of talk on AI. We just had a chat about AI with a guest on here as well. But I like you're really bringing that back and making sure the focus is still purely on that customer sitting in front of you right now. And I think that's lacking.
Absolutely. AI, it can solve the problem, but it removes, taking a broader look at AI and what they say is a world of abundance because of it as a result. And if you look long term into that world, really humans are going to be having a lot more free time, is what they say. And if so, then interaction is going to be something that they crave. And that interaction is what we're leaning into within our restaurants, and that customer experience is all leaning into human interaction and human engagement and keeping the fundamentals of what makes us human as opposed to what the AI delivers from an execution point of view, and just keeping those values there. So without getting too broad a thought to it, we're just trying to strip it back to the simple principles of hospitality and keeping that human interaction and human engagement as high as possible and as frequent as possible. Yeah.
Excellent, Joe. All right. It's good to catch up with you again. We're going to talk again today. So
likewise, no
looking
worries.
forward to it.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Glenn.
That's it for another one of the Franchise Everything podcast. We'll catch you in the next one very soon.